and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new readings every single day. If you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. The card that fell out is the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have Justice. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. I'm going to get some clarity on the Seven of Swords here. Interesting. The 1111 card, the Four of Wands. Okay. This is what I'm picking up on. Some of you are self-sabotaging your progress. And I'm seeing that it's largely because you are looking at things from a negative perspective. You're looking at the things you've lost instead of the things that you've gained. You're looking at the things that could go wrong instead of the things that could go right. Instead of the opportunity, you're seeing problems. Some of you are getting too caught up in your head here. And what I'm seeing is that you're tricking yourself into thinking that you're not making any progress, or that you're not capable of achieving something, or you're tricking yourself into thinking that your worth is less than it is. But what I'm seeing here is that you are on the right path. And this whole self-sabotaging thing that you're doing, one, you need to get out of that mindset. But two, I'm seeing that the universe is wanting you to think differently about the steps moving forward. The universe is asking you to step out of your comfort zone, maybe do things you've never done before. And it's making you feel a little lost, like you don't know where to get started, or you're not sure what thing to tackle first, or where to put your time and energy. And what I'm seeing is you're sort of spinning your wheels here and getting caught up in these negative mindsets, and you're overthinking, overanalyzing, and feeling demotivated or anxious and worried. But the thing about overanalyzing and overthinking is that's not a productive way to problem solve. Because when you are working in a state of fear or lack, you are closing yourself off to a lot of other opportunities. The universe is asking you to take a step back, separate yourself from whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, give your body and your mind and your spirit a little bit of rest here. Because once you rest and you take the time you need to actually work through the emotion and work through whatever it is that you may be going through, you're going to gain a lot of clarity, and you're going to be able to come back and hit the ground running twice as hard. You're going to be able to really build upon the different aspects of what it is that you want to achieve. And I'm seeing that the seeds that you've been planting, you're going to be bearing the fruits of those seeds. And you're going to be building this level of abundance that you may not have experienced before. This could be a completely different tier of evolution for you. And your brain is sort of having trouble keeping up with this new level of spirituality and this new level of abundance and things that you're being brought into. Because this level of abundance is, I don't want to say that it's difficult in terms of there's nothing that you have to do in order to be worthy of it, but it's more of getting yourself in the right frame of mind, working through the things that get in your way, and being self-aware enough to be able to achieve the spiritual awakening can be a bit of a daunting process. And it's an ongoing learning process, but ultimately, when you're learning to manifest abundance, you have to get out of a lacking mindset. But not only do you have to get out of a lacking mindset, because I would say that's one of the first things you'd have to do. The next thing would be that you have to get into a overflow mindset of always having more than enough of anything that it is that you desire, that you want. And it happens in stages, and the level at which you choose to say is your minimum will elevate as you move forward. But that minimum or maximum that you spiritually, vibrationally align to is what will attract that level and frequency of abundance to whatever it is. So the reason why you're kind of spinning your wheels here a little bit is because some of these things are things you've never done before. Some of these mindsets are really requiring you to think differently. They're really requiring you to get a different perception of things, a different perspective, and a different understanding. And that is very emotionally taxing and mentally taxing. And sometimes when we are heavily manifesting a grand spiritual awakening and we're receiving a lot of downloads, what we don't realize is that we are constantly using our mind when we're doing this. So when you sleep and you're receiving these downloads, you're not really resting fully in the way that you would be if you weren't going through a spiritual awakening. And for those of you who are asking a little bit more about downloads, I'm going to be posting a blog this week that's going to dive into specifically what spiritual downloads are, what some of the symptoms are, and kind of what they are, why they come, when they come, those types of questions that you all have been asking. But ultimately, with these downloads, what happens is you're constantly in this state of growth, and it doesn't give your brain and your body time to catch up. So you have to kind of put more effort towards your self-care. And what I'm seeing is with this work that you're doing, not only spiritually and mentally and, in this evolutionary process that I keep talking about with this elevation, but also with the work that you're doing and planting the seeds for your future, justice is going to be coming in with karma, and that karma is going to cause and affect that energy to the point where if you're putting all this energy and effort into being better, achieving what you desire, all these things, you are going to bear the fruit of that. You're going to feel a lot more fulfilled. There's going to be new offers coming in. For some of you, this could be a romantic offer because it is the Knight of Cups. For others of you, I'm seeing that this more has to do with there's going to be opportunity for you to really step into your creative side or step into some sort of passion or hobby, or a hobby that you want to turn into a business or whatever it is. And it's really going to give you the opportunity to finally balance the scales of receiving instead of just giving all the energy, all the work, all the time. You're going to be getting that energy back to you. So with that being said, with this mindset that you're in, it's okay to question things. It's okay to take a step back. The scary part is if you're not acknowledging it. If you can see it and you are acknowledging it, or someone is pointing it out to you and you're able to see it and acknowledge it, then you know what the problem is and you can actually solve the problem. It's more of the awareness of it that sometimes eludes us, but sometimes that awareness comes when we take a step back and we sort of regroup, we rest, we get a different perspective from our mentors, our inner circle. We realign with our purpose and our desire and what it is that we are looking to achieve. And then we take inspired action towards what it is that we're wanting to do. And oftentimes people think that inspired action is only act when you feel inspired to do so. And that's not quite correct. That is part of it. But it's more of this inner knowing and sense of feeling like there's something that you really want to do and feeling like you should do it, even if it doesn't always make logical sense, and then doing it anyway. Inspired action has more to do with the feeling and the intuition part of you feeling like there's something that you need to do, you want to do, and then actually taking the action towards that. That is what inspired action is. Inspired action is what allows you to step into the actual physical actions to achieve your goals. And that's why balancing your masculine and your feminine energies is so important, because your masculine energy is the energy that allows you to take that inspired action. Your feminine energy is the energy that gives you the intuition and the emotional response that will set the inspired action in motion and will help lead you to the action that is meant to help guide you towards the thing that it is you're trying to manifest. So it's very, very important here that if you are struggling with your masculine and feminine energy balance, that you really focus on that this week, because what I'm seeing here is that as you're sort of picking yourself apart and you're going through this sort of spinning your wheels sort of mentality or questioning all these things, part of it is because your balance between your masculine and feminine energy has not come into unity yet. And I've talked about in yesterday's reading that there's going to be a union coming, a divine union between masculine and feminine energy. When that hits, that is when you need to take your inspired action. And that is when you really need to hit the ground running. And you really need to be very intentional about what it is that you're trying to do, because it's going to come back to you in karma. And I don't mean this to scare you. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand that the universe is preparing you right now so that when this time comes where the unity comes and the inspired action happens, you're prepared and you take the right steps forward to bring about what it is that you want, because the universe is very much backing you at this time. Your manifestation skills are heightening because you're elevating. But if you're not intentional with your actions, you will end up manifesting a whole bunch of other random stuff instead of the thing that you really want. And it's not because you're being punished. It's not because you're unworthy. It's because you're unfocused. And it's because you're not being intentional with your actions, or you don't know what actions to take or what it is that you want in order for the inspired action to work. So plant the seeds by getting your masculine and feminine energies in balance. Talk to your inner circle, write, journal, meditate, talk with your guides, talk to spirit, whatever it is that helps you kind of balance everything out and get out of your head. Take a step back from whatever it is you're trying to do. If you are feeling tired, try to rest more. Try not to oversaturate yourself with content at this time. That means if you need to step away from even listening to my readings, I highly recommend you doing that, because when you're constantly allowing content to be around you all the time and you're constantly consuming it, whether it's books or audiobooks or music or television, and you're constantly having all this noise all the time, it makes it very hard for your brain to actually rest and your body to actually rest. And it doesn't actually relax you. Try to do things that promote presence, promote mental health and mental rest, physical health and physical rest. Now, for some of you, that is going out and say bike riding or hiking or something like that. But try to clear your mind. Try not to get over analytical or overthinking, and that'll help you get to the point where you can actually take that step back. You can reorganize your thoughts, get rid of the noise, and then figure out what steps you need to take moving forward to balance your energies, and then to figure out what inspired action needs to come in order to achieve your goals. If you're not clear about what you want for your 10 of Pentacles right now, if there's still certain areas you don't know what that looks like, you don't need to have all the exact answers, but you need to have a general direction. Work on your journal prompts. Work on figuring out the different areas. If there were no obstacles, nobody would consider what you were doing was wrong. Nothing mattered at all. There was no financial issues, like literally nothing stopping you from achieving all these different pentacles. What would each of them look and feel like? Start trying to figure that out. And it could be as simple as, I want to be happy. It doesn't need to be overly specific, because sometimes when we feel like we have to be so overly specific, that just causes us to get more overly analytical, overthinking, and worried and stressed. It doesn't need to be complicated. It can be very simple, but you have to have some sort of direction, and you have to try to figure out, okay, I at least want A, B, and C. So maybe it is, I want to be happy, I want to be stable, I want to be peaceful, whatever it is. But try to break it down a little bit and be specific so that you at least know what direction you need to go in And then understand that any action towards that direction is a progress that's being made. Your affirmation for this reading is, my anxieties and worries and fears are not an accurate depiction of my reality or my worth or my skill set or my insert here. I am choosing to take a step back, allow myself to rest, and come back stronger. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.